Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I am Valsa Williams with the midday news. The headlines: Iran and Israel continue to exchange missile strikes. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in Moscow for high-stakes talk with top Russian leadership. Global oil prices surge after Iran's proposal to close the Strait of Hormuz. Asian stock markets tumble as tensions escalate. Nation pays tribute to Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his martyrdom day. Met Department issues red alert for heavy rain in parts of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. And in cricket, India to resume their second innings at 90 for 2 against England on day 4 of first test at Headingley, Leeds. The conflict continues between Iran and Israel as both countries exchange missile strikes. Jerusalem was gripped by fresh anxiety today as a missile was spotted overhead, followed by distant explosions, according to a Reuters report. The Israeli military subsequently activated air raid sirens across central and southern Israel, citing further incoming missile threats from Iran. Earlier, Iran's parliament unanimously approved a proposal to close the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil and gas shipping routes, in direct retaliation for U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. However, the final move awaits approval from Iran's Supreme National Security Council. China has called on both Iran and Israel to de-escalate hostilities. U.S. military officials have placed forces across the region on heightened alert. On the other hand, U.S. President Donald Trump has hinted at the possibility of regime change in Iran. Our West Asia correspondent reports high-level talks are reportedly underway in Moscow in a bid to defuse the crisis.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has arrived in the Russian capital for high-stakes talks with Russia's top leadership. As a long-standing ally of Iran and a significant power in the region, Russia is viewed as a potential mediator in this deepening crisis. The discussions are expected to concentrate on de-escalation strategies, broader regional security concerns, and exploring any viable diplomatic pathways to resolve the ongoing hostilities. While Russian officials have indicated their readiness to play a constructive role in facilitating peace, the path forward remains highly uncertain. The international community, including the United Nations and other key global powers, continues to closely monitor the volatile situation, issuing urgent calls for restraint and dialogue from all parties involved. Vinod Kumar for Akashvani News from Dubai.
Amid rising geopolitical tensions in the global crude oil market, oil prices rose over 2% to their highest level since January this year in early trade today. Brent crude was trading almost 0.7% up at $77.54 per barrel, while WTI crude was trading over 0.6% up at $74.34 per barrel when reports last came in. Meanwhile, most Asian markets tumbled in intraday trade today. Indonesia's Jakarta dropped over 2%. Taiwan weighted index shed more than 1.4%. Singapore's Straits Times index was trading over 0.3% down. South Korea's Kospi index dipped over 0.2%, and Japan's Nikkei 225 index was also trading over 0.1% down. At the Indian stock market, the benchmark domestic equity indices Sensex and Nifty were trading over 0.5% down in afternoon trade. India continues its large-scale evacuation efforts under Operation Sindhu to bring back Indian nationals from Iran and Israel amid rising tensions in the region. In the latest development, 285 Indian citizens arrived safely in New Delhi late last night on a special flight from Mashhad, Iran. Welcoming the evacuees, Minister of State for External Affairs Pavitra Margharita confirmed that the total number of Indians brought back from Iran has now reached 1,713.
Total number of evacuated Indian nationals from Iran stands now at 1,713, and we have scheduled 2-3 more flights from Iran for the next 2 days. And the same way, we are in constant contact with all our Indian nationals residing there in Iran and Israel also.
In a related development, Indian missions in Israel and Jordan evacuated 160 Indian nationals in a joint effort after Israeli airspace was closed and commercial flights suspended due to the escalating conflict in the region. Mr. Margherita also informed that over the next 2 days, 2 to 3 additional flights are scheduled from Iran to continue the evacuation process. The Ministry of External Affairs has urged Indian nationals in both Iran and Israel to stay in touch with the Indian Embassy in Tehran through its emergency helpline and with the 24/7 control room in New Delhi. On the 40th anniversary of the Kanishka plane bombing, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, along with his 8-member Indian delegation, paid homage to the victims at the Ahakista Memorial in Cork, Ireland today. Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin and Canadian Minister of Public Safety Gary Anandasangari also paid homage to the victims. On this day in 1985, Air India Flight 182 en route from Montreal in Canada to New Delhi via London exploded mid-air off the coast of Ireland. In the attack, 329 passengers comprising Indian, Canadian and other foreign nationals, including children, were killed. The cowardly attack was carried out by Canada-based Khalistani terrorists. Paying tributes, Dr. Hardeep Puri called the act a stain on humanity.
Flight 182 Emperor Kanishka, by an act of terrorism, is a stain on humanity. As a representative of the Government of India, I once again extend my heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and the people of the countries from which the passengers were drawn, Canada, India and Britain.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar also paid homage to the blast victims, terming it one of the worst acts of terrorism. Dr. Jaishankar described the attack as a stark reminder of why the world must show zero tolerance towards terrorism and violent extremism. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts, and for details of stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download News on AIR app. Welcome back to the Midday News. The nation is paying tribute to Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his martyrdom day today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to Dr. Mukherjee. In a social media post, Mr. Modi said Dr. Mukherjee displayed incomparable courage and effort to keep the country's integrity intact. The Prime Minister added that his invaluable contribution to nation building will always be remembered with reverence. Dr. Mukherjee died under mysterious circumstances in a Srinagar jail on this day in 1953. BJP National President JP Nadda paid floral tributes to Dr. Mukherjee at the party headquarters in New Delhi. Mr. Nadda said Dr. Mukherjee was a freedom fighter and social reformer who opposed the special status given to Jammu and Kashmir.
मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में और उनकी इच्छा शक्ति के कारण, हमारे गृह मंत्री जी की रणनीति के कारण धारा 370 धाराशाही हुई। आज श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी जी को सच्ची श्रद्धांजलि यही है कि हम सब लोग एक देश में, एक निशान नीचे और एक विधान में आज काम कर रहे हैं।
President Draupadi Murmu has said the world is facing the crisis of climate change and sustainability is no longer a slogan but has become a necessity. Addressing the National Students' Convocation 2025 of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India in New Delhi, the President said the students can bring a great change in the future of the planet with their skills. She said the Institute of Cost Accountants of India has played a crucial role in making the Indian economy one of the strongest in the world today.
ICMAI has been a partner in the country's progress as it provides highly valuable support to policymakers, to central and state governments, as well as to various organizations in developing cost-efficient strategies, systems and manuals.
India has undergone a decade of remarkable transformation driven by the principles of Seva, Sushasana and Garib Kalyan. Akashvani News brings you a special feature on the government's efforts over the last 11 years across key sectors. Today we focus on India's unwavering commitment to inclusive growth, a journey of empowerment, opportunity and reform for the country's minority communities.
Over the past decade, the government has made significant strides in uplifting minority communities through targeted initiatives in education, economic empowerment and infrastructure development. The Pradhan Mantri Jan Vikas Karyakram alone approved projects worth over 18,400 crore rupees. Meanwhile, the National Minorities Development and Finance Corporation disbursed over 752 crore rupees to more than 1.74 lakh beneficiaries, offering concessional loans to the backward sections. Cultural and community-specific initiatives have also made a meaningful impact. The Hajj Suvidha app and dedicated training programs for Hajj volunteers have enhanced the pilgrimage experience, while the landmark Waqf Amendment Act 2025, along with the launch of the Umeed portal, strengthened transparency and governance, ushering in a new era of digital management for Waqf properties. Additionally, schemes like the Buddhist Development Plan, Geoparsi, and others have addressed the unique needs of different communities by preserving culture, promoting education, and enhancing community welfare. Vishnu PS, Akashwani News, Delhi.
In Gujarat, BJP candidate Rajendra Kumar Daneshwar Chavda has won the Assembly by-poll to the Kadi constituency, defeating Ramesh Bhai Chavda of the Congress. Aam Aadmi Party candidate Italia Gopal won the Visavadar constituency. He defeated Kirit Patel of the BJP. In Kerala, the Congress-led United Democratic Front UDF has registered a resounding victory in the Nilambur Assembly by-election, with Congress candidate Aryadhan Shaukat emerging as the winner. Meanwhile, counting of votes is underway for the by-elections to 2 assembly seats in West Bengal and Punjab. Trinamool Congress candidate Alifa Ahmed is leading in West Bengal's Kaliganj assembly seat. In Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party's Sanjeev Arora is leading at Ludhiana West assembly seat. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued a red alert for heavy rains in parts of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh today. It said conditions are favourable for the further advance of the southwest monsoon in most of North India during the next 2 days. Isolated heavy rainfall is also likely in western parts of the country until Friday. In Madhya Pradesh, rains continue in many districts today. More from our correspondent.
More than 25 districts in Madhya Pradesh received rain during the last 24 hours. Guna received the highest rainfall of 5.8 inches. Rain continues in many districts including Bhopal, Indore, Ujjain and Jabalpur. Heavy rain has caused waterlogging in many places in Shivpuri district. Parvati River is in Ispat in Shiopur district and Shiopur-Bara highway has had to be closed. Meanwhile, continuous rain in Ashoknagar district for the last 2 days has disturbed normal life. The Met Department has informed that a strong system of rain is active in Madhya Pradesh for the next 4 days. The department has issued a red alert for very heavy rain in Ujjain, Shajapur, Agar Malwa and Rajgarh today, while there is an orange alert in Neemuch, Mandsaur, Indore and Devas. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashwani News, Bhopal.
In our bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak tonight, we will bring you a discussion on blood donation, a small act with a big impact. Additional Professor in Transfusion Medicine, AIMS, Delhi, Dr. Gopal Patidar, will be with us to answer the queries of listeners. To participate, dial the telephone numbers 011-2342-1050 and 011-2331-4444 from 9:30 p.m. onwards. You can also send your queries via WhatsApp number 928-909-4044 or post your questions on X with the hashtag AskAIR. In cricket, India will resume their second innings at the overnight score of 90-2 against England on day 4 of the first test at Headingley, Leeds this afternoon. KL Rahul at 47 and skipper Shubman Gill at 6 were at the crease when stumps were drawn on the third day. India now has 96-run lead. Earlier, India kick-started the final session, having secured a 6-run lead over England, who were bundled out for 465 runs in their first innings, in reply to India's first innings total of 471. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Iran and Israel continue to exchange missile strikes. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in Moscow for high-stakes talk with top Russian leadership. Global oil prices surge after Iran's proposal to close the Strait of Hormuz. Asian stock markets tumble as tensions escalate. Nation pays tribute to Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his martyrdom day. Met Department issues red alert for heavy rain in parts of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. And in cricket, India to resume their second innings at 90-2 against England on day 4 of first test at Headingley, Leeds. And with that, we end the midday news.